Hi. So today I want to just go over an older article, but that's related to Mr. Comey. Mr. Comey, who is a big man, both literally and figuratively, who seems to have virtually disappeared. And I think it's real important for summer reasons not to let that happen. I think that Mr. Comey's hands are tied into so very many things, including but not limited to events that went on in Sandy Hook. I know that seems to be a leap for some of you, but I'm hoping over the course of the next, I don't know how long, I will be just, giving factual information that you'll see pulls a little bit of that together. But not to get off topic. Yeah, this is just an article, of course, link in the description box. How James Comey was this hedge fund high roller who lived with his family in Westport, Connecticut, until he was called upon to be the FBI director in 2013. Interestingly, and this article was published, let's see, November 2016. So well before Mr. Weinstein had actually made headlines. Yeah. They note in the headline here at the UK, yeah, this is kind of like an interesting, you got to take what this publication, the Daily Mail, the UK, says with a grain of salt, like everything else. But home of Martha Stewart, Paul Newman, and Harvey Weinstein. So, gosh, I stopped seeing this ad. Covered my content, you damn it. Okay, so let's see. So he had bought FBI director. You have to wonder what he was doing. So in previous video, I covered how Mr. Comey had worked at Bridgewater. We kind of go into that a little bit here. Hi, Kenneth Morris. Just making a video. Okay, so here he is. Comey bought the estate on more than 3 acres not far from where Martha Stewart used to live for $3,050,000 in 2010. He bought the house in 2010. But now he has to reduce it 4 times down to $2.5 million, and he still doesn't have a buyer. This is again November of 2016 this was published. They say Comey has a net worth of $11 million. This was them. And that he had spent 6 years at the Connecticut home. When he bought the home, he had been hired as a general counsel by the Westport headquartered $150 billion hedge fund Bridgewater Associates. Remember that name. And now remember too, whenever people throw out their names, like if I'm saying Bridgewater, I am not insinuating that every single person, employee, and connection to Bridgewater Associates is going to be corrupt. And I'm not even necessarily specifically giving names as to who did what where in this. However, it is going to be, I think, indisputable once you kind of go through the information and the connections between Comey and his ties to Bridgewater, their ties to the Clinton Association Foundation, and of course Comey's ties to the Clintons and HSBC and hedge funds. It's money, 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 money. Hi, Nancy Rice. That's what this is. It does come back. Follow the money. You follow the money. And I'll post a link. I have to go back and find the article. But, it's well documented that Bridgewater had paid Comey in 2012. Bridgewater paid Comey over $7 million. What else happened in 2012? Do you remember? December 14th, 2012. Why is that even relative? Well, Bridgewater is also very well linked and tied into AI, artificial intelligence. There's a huge psychological component to studying people and their behaviors and anticipating and stress and monitoring. And, you have to create crises to see what people are going to do. If you're going to develop really keen artificial intelligence. I know this just sounds this probably just sounds like I'm just so crazy. Okay, fuck it. I am crazy. But, that doesn't mean that I'm wrong. Okay, so here we go. So before he became the FBI director, James Comey lived in the Gold Coast high life in Connecticut as a hedge fund high roller. You know who else was involved in hedge funds? Funny thing, Mueller. Yeah, Mueller. Now everybody wants to throw Mueller under the bus because now suddenly Mueller's like unearthing all these other players in the political arena that, don't happen to be Trump. And so now people are calling for his head. It's so funny. I guess the one thing that has been consistent that gives me kind of some peace is that Trump is still continuing to be seemingly on the receiving end of the shit stick. And even though that sucks for him, it's good for my mental health. It is. Not because he deserves it, but because it shows who's on what team. So, I just thought I would share this lovely article just to show you, the lovely home that he had, his net worth, because you don't really quite see this. Not the saying that, it's God bless America, land of the free, earn a good living, buy a nice house. But how are you earning that living? So before he became the FBI director, James Comey lived in this house in Westport. Westport, hour drive to Sandy Hook, Bridgewater. Very nice. Very nice. I haven't checked and seen where the house, what the current status of the house sale is, but that's neither here nor there right now. Yeah. So, they have 6 children. That's sad. One of them who died as an infant. And there they are in the background, I don't know him personally. I only know what the follow the money suggests. And when the feds try to cover up things, and don't give information about certain things, and then prey upon the public for sympathy to push propaganda. It's not just one thing. It's never just one thing, When you talk about false flag events and things happening, it's always going to be, people aren't going to do these things just for one thing. It's not just going to be for money. It's not just going to be for legislation. It's not just going to be for personal vendetta. I mean, it's going to be, tiered. Okay, so Comey prosecuted and sent Stewart to prison in 2004 for insider stock trading. That's just funny. I wonder what she really did to Pitt. What didn't she agree with? Then there's Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein, who in October co-produced and star-studded Broadway fundraiser for Hillary Clinton, with tickets going for as much as $10,000 each. And this is why I think maybe, the swamp's just getting drained in a very unorthodox way. But anyway, it would be unorthodox since it's really never been drained. I like going back to look at these articles because you can see names and they seemingly don't seem connected, but I think that they are. And it's funny that Hillary Clinton's always kind of like in the thick of all this bullshit, isn't she? Like a lot of times, yeah. Among other Democrat elites who lived in Westport was the late film star Paul Newman, and his wife Joanne Woodward, both big supporters of Bill Clinton when he was the controversial commander-in-chief. Another more recent neighbor of Comey was the businessman and philanthropist Gupta, who was convicted in 2012 on insider trading charges like Stewart. Is he related? I think he has some interesting relatives within the political arena. He does. Comey, 56, put his estate on Westway Road in Westport's exclusive Greens Farms up for sale in 2015 for $3.395 million, 2 years after President Barack Obama appointed him to head of FBI. I think that was January 2013, wasn't it? January 2013, which came after February of 2012. Well, it's a very lovely home. Modest 7,157 square feet. Someone else had white furniture in a video that I just recently did. Yeah. This is a little bit nicer. And, yeah. You know, and for people who are following along, you absolutely know I'm not critiquing his fashion sense. And I don't give a shit about the value necessarily intrinsic of that home because he had it, outside of how it connects to where he gets his money from. Jim's desperate to sell, and he's practically giving the place away at $2.5 million, says a Westport real estate agent. La 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 la. According to Zillow, the house was built in 2005. It's on a gated community. La 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 la. If Comey can't sell and he decides to rent it, the monthly rental is estimated of more than $12,000. That's spendy. Well, at least they won't be tearing that one down, will they? Because that seems to be what they do oftentimes, is tear things down. Oh, there's Martha, young Martha Stewart. Lots of interesting things go on in Connecticut. So many. You know, do you think it's a coincidence that Fairfield, Connecticut's there, you know, where they have the MK Ultra big mind control ops stuff and all the underground tunnels and everything, where they do a lot of, you know who else is from there? Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah. It's like, is that like the PSYOP town of America? Is that the PSYOP state of America? You know? Okay, just interesting tidbits I'm putting out there. I know this is probably choppy. I gotta run out and do some stuff. Maybe I'll edit this and add something else, or maybe I'll just make this part 1. Previously, Comey had been a deputy attorney general at the Justice Department in the George Bush administration. And besides former Westporter Martha Stewart, he also prosecuted mafia boss John James Gambino. How do you prosecute a mafia boss and live? Let me just ask you that question. That could be another category for Jeopardy. People who, is that the question? People who prosecute mafia bosses and live. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, portfolio $5 million. I know I keep saying I'm going to go and then don't. Verizon. He has included ExxonMobil and Hormel Food. So, a lot of times you have to read such articles on their superficial value of, oh, look, shiny pictures. And then you want to read the things that just get said in passing. I know some people that are really good at that. They'll tell you a whole long story for a long, long time. And then they'll tell you one thing really quickly in passing. And it's that one thing quickly in passing that you really need to pay attention to, because everything is tied into that one little quick thing said in passing. So when he left Bridgewater, he was handed more than $3 million in profit sharing from the time he spent there from September 2010 to January 2016. That's a very interesting time frame. Okay. Well, link in the description box to this interesting article that you can go ahead and look at for its value of pictures, or more so. I seem to be having technical difficulty scrolling through. So, alrighty. I hope everybody has a great day. And I'll be back later. Bye.